Hello everyone, so I'm Yugen Thamang and welcome to Sikkim Chronicle and ETC, that is an entertainment chronicle, North Bengal and Sikkim's first entertainment news portal. So welcome to this special episode. Talking about this episode, we have this very talented and one of the most celebrated chef from the country, India. We have today with us this wonderful personality who has not just been prominent in terms of the industry of cooking, but apart from that, he has been doing a lot more. And talking about this gentleman, his name happens to be Varun Inamdar. Talking about his credentials, ladies and gentlemen, he is the top 10 celebrity chef, Guinness World Record holder, India representative, international food stylist, Prince of Chocolate, that sounds quite interesting, and cookbook author and 2 times national award winner. And I'm sure there might be a lot of credentials to add on apart from this. So with me joining is the celebrated and the celebrity chef of the country, Varun Inamdar.
Hello.
And apart from that, we have these 2 beautiful and of course fantastic women entrepreneur from the state of Sikkim. Here on my left is Vindhya Chandak, who happens to be the owner of the Magic Wheel Bakery. She's from West Sikkim, Sombaria. And also with me joining is Monica Agarwal, the entrepreneur, of course, the owner of the Bake Trade from Gangtok itself. So welcome all of you.
Thank you so much.
So first, Mr. Varun, so I may have fumbled in the beginning because you have so many credentials to add on right now. So because I was just going through your profile, watching your YouTube channel, and I was really surprised that to have you in the state of Sikkim is such an honor and a privilege, first of all.
I think it's a complete privilege and honor for me because I'm in love with the hills, and I spend most of my holidays and vacations in some hillock, in some hillland. And it's my first time in Sikkim, and I'm thankful to these wonderful girls who've actually taken the time out and kind of invited me to the heartland.
It's our pleasure.
So I'm extremely excited to be here. And I'm happy to be interviewed by you because, of course, it's Sikkim Chronicles, and what better than that?
Thank you so much. And first of all, as a Sikkim citizen, I'd also like to welcome you to this tiny Himalayan state of Sikkim.
And let me tell you, the people are wonderful. And I've tried a little bit of food here and there, and I've seen the whole influence of Nepalese food and, of course, the local things. And they take me around, so it's wonderful.
Let's delve more into that, more into that. But Mr. Varun, I'm sure when you have entered Sikkim now, you're already here, you know what's happening next. So kindly tell our viewers, what are you here for actually?
So I am here for 2 things. One is, of course, to eat and to roam around. And 2 is these 2 wonderful ladies here on my left, Vindhya and Monica. They've organized this wonderful masterclass where they've engaged me for 3 days between Sikkim and Siliguri, and we're doing a series of masterclasses. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's an opportunity for me to connect with my fans and my followers and my friends from, of course, Sikkim and Siliguri, and they're doing a wonderful job.
Let's make this podcast quite candid, because I want to know, while you thought about when they invited you to come here and do a masterclass, what was the first thing that really got into your head that you're moving towards Sikkim?
The first thing that actually got into my head is the local ingredients, because this is the kind of local belt and local region of which the food I've never kind of used in my food. So that was the first kind of challenge that I took up, and we've been planning the menu for, I think, almost over 2.5 months now. So my first request to both the girls was, can you please send me a list of the ingredients that would be available in season? So I think they've done their research for a good 10-12 days to kind of figure out what is local, what is regional, what is exotic, what is kind of available in season. And when they came up with a list, there were some ingredients that I did not know of. So they've even gone up to the way of sending me ingredients back to Mumbai. We've done a few of experiments, we've done a few of trials here and there, and we then came up with a menu. And trust me, it's looking wonderful. And we are all excited to kind of teach international food with, of course,
twist from
local twist.
Touch of local.
So that's going to be fantastic.
This sounds really, really interesting, and I'm sure a lot of viewers of Sikkim Chronicle and, of course, ETC would be really interested to attend this masterclass. But when we talk about masterclass, I see a lot of research has been done behind the scene, in fact. Vindhya Chandak is here and Monica Agarwal is here. Vindhya, tell us, as you all know that masterclass is happening, and you guys have done wonderful tasks about actually researching on the ingredients of Sikkim, basically. So what can our viewers expect in the masterclass, or whoever participates in the masterclass?
The viewers will expect a lot of ingredients. As Sir said, from here we have taken ingredients which normally is not used anywhere globally, like our local gundruk. We have kidema, and we have other herbs and the local mushroom which is grown here, chow, which is so famous in our belt but is not used anywhere else. So we've asked Sir to inculcate all those ingredients in his recipes and give it a twist so that we can take our ingredients globally outside Sikkim. हामीले यहाँको ingredient यहाँ मात्रै नराख्नु भनेर भनेपछि we wanted to take it outside and create wonders. Another ingredient which we are really looking forward is like Sir is creating two lovely dishes with oranges.
Okay.
And Sikkim oranges is different. It is like not like any other orange. It's very juicy, very pulpy. So we'll be having dishes with oranges here.
And we will also be using this dalle, which is very famous here. Instead of green chilies, we are using dalle in our recipes.
It sounds really interesting because oranges and dalle are a part of our actual cuisine.
True.
Yes.
So recently there was a festival in North Sikkim of the Orange Festival.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of viewers would be interested, and I'm
Yes.
sure this, after watching this podcast, many of you would be really interested to actually participate and get into this masterclass, which is going to be done by this wonderful personality and celebrated, safe from the country, Varun Inamdar. So let's come to the point now. Since you guys are promoting the ingredients, and as we all know that Sikkim happens to be an organic state in the country,
Definitely.
first and the only so far. So, and you are talking about promotion, and somewhere when I'm reading this out about the profiling, about the entire masterclass, I feel that it is a kind of an entrepreneurship. So how are you taking this forward apart from the masterclass, both of you?
This is the first stage what we are looking forward, and chef is here to guide us. We just don't want him to be here for the first time, but we want him to keep coming and guiding us how we can take our food abroad and present it globally. So he is the one who is going to guide us everywhere, and we have a lot of things on mind which we'll be announcing
very soon.
slowly.
So how, where and what the audience can expect?
I think Sir would explain that.
I know the venue happens to be in Gangtok and of course in
Gangtok,
Siliguri. I'll
Siliguri.
just read out like it's happening here in Gangtok in Denzong Shangri-la.
Denzong Shangri-la.
The podcast that's happening is Denzong Shangri-la in development area Gangtok. So it's happening on
On the first here.
1st of February.
February, right.
Okay.
In fact, this table is going to get converted into the working station.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I don't know why it looks so major good here because the color is so red and I can always
Bright
relate it,
and
yeah,
vibrant.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. A lot of things can be expected in fact in this
Yes.
entire masterclass. So, and where is the next means
The next masterclass is in Siliguri, as Siliguri is the gateway to the northeast. So we've chosen Siliguri because we can get Sikkim, we can get into the northeast through Siliguri. So that was our first place there, and then we're first doing a class here, and then we're going back to Siliguri.
And we have two master classes there,
There
too.
also.
And the venue is Yellow Chilli Planet Mall. And on the second, we have this baking masterclass where he'll be demonstrating some lovely desserts. And on the third, we have the cooking masterclass there.
Okay, so let's get back to the celebrated personality here. Mr. Varun, like, see, as you said, like, you have come Sikkim to teach a lot of enthusiasts about the food, the culture and everything, right? So, the first food that really got into your head when you thought of like getting into Sikkim, what was that?
Momos.
Nothing.
Are you experimenting with the momos this time?
We are not, in fact, because we all know momos,
Yeah.
right? But again, we are going to talk a lot about the fillings and stuffings. Like, for example, yesterday we did some experiments with churpi,
Yes.
which is very fascinating.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we also did some experiment with green tomatoes and dalle chilies, which again became a little bit of a chutney and accompaniment for the momos.
And today we did it with buckwheat.
Today we did it with
Buckwheat.
buckwheat. So, you know, it's getting
Kodo.
fantastic. And with the churpi achar.
Yes, with a twist, not the normal churpi achar, but it was a twist.
So the kodo do roti and the churpi achar, that's what the chef of
Denzong
Denzong
Shangri-la.
Shangri-la.
So we are having a fantastic time, and every hour, every meal for us is like a discovery, because every time we are looking back on the menu and saying we should add this. You know, we should twist this in this way. In fact, the chef of Denzong is actually also taking us around the city. He's also taking us around the market
Lal
so
Bazaar.
that we can Lal Bazaar, absolutely. And we're also going live from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is very interesting because that also helps us connect with our fans and followers. And again, it's an opportunity for all of us to reconnect with them. And of course, you know, when we go live, there are also comments that come in. There are also ingredient suggestions that would come
Yeah,
in. So
that
we-
is what we're looking
so
forward
that's
to.
what we're looking
Suggestions
for.
on
So it's
what we
all
can
going to become
inculcate.
like a melting pot of world cuisine with the Sikkimese ingredients coming in. So it's going to be fantastic.
So
More than teaching, I think I'm going to go back learning so much.
I guess that should be mutual completely.
Absolutely,
That should be-
absolutely.
And it seems that this masterclass is going to happen very inclusive masterclass where it's all about learning together.
It's the first of
Yeah.
Absolutely.
kind
Okay,
here.
let's get more critical now because we were quite candid. Because when Mr. Varun is here, I'd want you to at least contribute a lot of things to the cuisines that is being developed here. So how would you want to go ahead of this masterclass when it comes to Sikkimese cuisines? Like,
See, we are also trying to integrate with a lot of activities with locals and with kind of the ministry and with the government bodies and things like that. So we're kind of seeing how things can be developed further. We already have something on the cards which we
Yes.
don't want to announce now because it's quite at a nascent developing stage, but trust me, it's going to be grand. It's going to be much, much, much grander than a masterclass, let me tell you that. But we'll announce it when the time is right. With the girls already smiling because they know what's cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be really huge.
I hope it comes to Sikkim Chronicle so that we can make it public.
Absolutely.
Definitely, definitely. You are our first choice.
So okay, let's come to the point. I've been hearing, Mr. Varun, some of the leading people here in the state, like you are here for some better purposes as well. Sure. So I've been hearing that you're also for promotion spices of Sikkim.
Yes, absolutely.
So can you just highlight about that as well?
We are trailing down.
Ginger and
Yeah,
turmeric.
we're trying the ginger. We're going to try some turmeric. We're going to try
And
some
Timur,
chai.
which is our local pepper.
Absolutely.
So
the
we are
Szechuan
going-
Try
pepper.
to
Yeah.
experiment with stuffs here.
So we're going to trail down some farms. We're going to, of course,
We have some on
This
mind tomorrow.
cardamom farms. We're going to see the cardamom getting roasted, cardamam getting sun-baked.
So
yeah,
TBT, we are going to the TBT farm
Farms, yes.
garden tomorrow, and we'll be meeting the MD there also
Yeah.
for further
So
discussions.
she is in fact very much involved with connecting us to the grassroots, and that's very important because I come from a very different background.
Yeah.
And for me to kind of explore the farms of Sikkim and explore this side of the ingredient bank is very unusual because I don't know if any chef has ever explored something like this.
Yes.
And for me, it's going to be very unusual because it's going to be a first of its kind. And especially, black cardamom from Sikkim is something that's exported the world over.
Okay.
You know, the world does not know the beauty of black cardamom. In fact, just a few years back, I got to know that this is a black cardamom that's also smoked.
Yes.
And it's so earthy, it's so wonderful that a few years back when I started a brand called Barcode, you know, the brand called Barcode is a combination of the 29 beautiful states of the country. So every state has a representing flavor of chocolate. When it came to Sikkim,
It was the
I hands down chose black cardamom and dale chilies.
yes.
And the combination of that is wonderful. It's wonderful because it gives you a very different kind of a smoked aroma. In fact, I now feel sitting here in the mushroom risotto, we must add a little bit of that black cardamom.
Yes, we can.
Because that will patch the earthiness of the mushrooms and I think it will take it to a complete different level. So remember that. I
We'll
mean,
definitely do that.
we should do that.
Despite the fact I'm not that foodie, but the way you guys are actually describing all the ingredients, it really makes me feel like, you know, I should really get into food.
That's our job.
Seriously.
That's our
And you
job.
should really come for the masterclass.
Definitely, I look forward to actually come because this sounds so interesting. And Mr. Varun, like, see, I've been hearing about fashion stylists and all. Because I'm sure this podcast is being watched by a lot of food enthusiasts and food entrepreneurs. So, kindly tell us about what is like food styling, because and you are an international food stylist as well. So, what is it all about?
So food styling and food styling is nothing new. I'm sure our viewers are into reading books. They watch the internet, they watch television, they watch advertisements, they see the hoardings around.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you see food getting printed or getting documented, that's the job of a food stylist.
Okay.
How a particular food is supposed to look in a newspaper or in a magazine or on a hoarding or in a cookbook is the job of a food stylist.
Yeah.
Whether you need to keep a fork there, you need to keep a spoon there, you need to put a sprig of coriander, or you need to put edible flowers, or you need anything to look pretty on a picture. That's the job of a food stylist. So it's not a new profession.
Okay.
It's just that chefs have never given it that much of seriousness or that much of attention. Having said all of this, I have designed somewhere around 45 cookbooks, international cookbooks for international authors.
All right.
Amongst all of that, I have my own cookbooks. So I have somewhere around 5 cookbooks, and all of it is done in our studio in Mumbai.
Yeah, it's
So
more
that's the
about
job of a-
branding, like
Absolutely,
food branding.
absolutely.
I am so looking forward to it because I want our Sikkimese cuisines to appear in a lot of your books, and then I want that to be actually portrayed in a very stylish manner.
Absolutely.
Anyways, we'll end up this podcast, but before we end up, like Monica and Vindhya, we first of all congratulations, because
Thank
this
you
is
so
happening for
much.
the first time in the state of Sikkim, and then such a marvelous task. And the beginning is with the celebrated chef of the country, Mr. Varun Inamdar. So, see, apart from masterclass, who have enrolled so far? Are the women who interested here, or like the men's are also really literally coming forward to actually participate?
There are definitely some men who have really
really
enrolled
come
for the
up.
masterclass, and we were surprised because
didn't
down there in
know.
Siliguri we don't have entries for males, but in
We
Gangtok,
have few entries. We
but
have few entries
in
for
Gangtok,
males.
there are a lot of males who are really interested, and they are more excited to meet him rather than attending the class. And yeah, of course, we have people from all genres. We have students, we have housewives, and we have some professionals. But we asked Sikkim to come up and really get geared and register with the class, because it's gonna be an amazing experience.
In fact, Monica was just telling me this morning over breakfast that people are enrolling, one for the masterclass, and there also a separate list which is saying selfie khichwa dena.
Yeah.
This will be a meet and greet, by the way.
Meet and
We
greet,
can-
yeah.
yeah.
You can just meet your favorite celebrity chef, meet, greet, and learn from him, and it's going to be an amazing experience.
Despite the fact I heard about him at the last moment, I had to go through entire YouTube videos and
it's
go
so
through about it. I was like,
important.
oh, okay, fine. It's late than never. I'll just go and interview this gentleman, because it is quite a privilege for me. As
But
well
I'm
to have
so glad that you could actually take the time out. And let me also tell you that he is actually multitasking when he's doing this now, because he's already on his phone. He's already given an event its due justice. From here, he's already running to another one. So between the two events, he's taken this 15-20 minutes, and it's really
It's completely
we're really
my
thankful.
pleasure.
We're
It's
really
completely
grateful.
my pleasure. So I'd want Monica or Vindhya to once again, before we end up this podcast, to read where are your events happening and the masterclass happening to the viewers.
In Sikkim, we are hosting the event at Denzong Shangri-la development area, just few feet away from Sangram Hall. So we want everybody to come up and please register, because it's gonna be a lovely experience.
And on Siliguri, we have it on 2nd of February. We have the baking masterclass there in Yellow Chilli, Planet Mall. And on the 3rd, we have this cooking masterclass, the same venue, Yellow Chilli. So yeah, we are really excited and looking forward for you guys to like come and join our workshop, and yeah.
And welcome the chef with
welcome
warm
the
heart.
chef, yes.
Yeah. And let the chef conclude this podcast. Any word, any word you'd like to say to the viewers who's watching you right now?
I'd just like to say come, because it's not only about me teaching, it's also about me learning from you, because this is a complete different cuisine for me, and for me to kind of integrate the wonderful Sikkimese cuisine and patch it up with the global cuisine, I think it's going to be a big learning for me as well, because a lot of things of course have been planned, have been experimented with, but let me tell you, the moment the chef takes me out in the market, the mind is going to open
It's
up
gonna
very
change,
differently, and
yes.
you never know. I'm just going to add in another 8-9 ingredients to it, and let's possibly make it absolutely pro-local.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So we are ending up this podcast, because this was a very special episode for me as well, because I'm not that foodie, but the way things are turning up right now, I'm definitely looking forward to attend this masterclass that's happening in Gangtok on February 1st at Denzong Shangri-La. This is the perfect ambience. You can look at the background. This looks perfect and clean. Of course, that's more important when you go to the food. And then apart from that, the other one is happening on February 2nd and 3rd in Siliguri at Yellow Chilli, Planet Mall. So I hope the people or the viewers who are watching this podcast, you would be really interested to learn about food. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
So we are ending up this podcast. Thank you so much for watching Sikkim Chronicle, and of course do also subscribe to our YouTube channel on Sikkim Chronicle as well as an ET Chronicle, the Sikkim and North Bengal's first entertainment news portal. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.